and I can control this chart with this simple drop down. So let me show you how we can use the same summary table. This single Excel formula is incredibly powerful. Let's say you want to extract top 10 cities, top 10 products, or top 10 salesperson from a data. This single formula is a game changer. And before we start, I just want to remind you there's a free gift at the end of this video. So make sure to watch this video till the end and make sure to grab your free gift. Now, in the first part of this formula, we're going to use the function called group by that allows us to have a summary table from the main data. So here I'm going to enter the group by function. And in the first argument, which is row fields, I will specify the name of all the salesperson. So basically, I'm going to specify the column C and range C2 to C1001. Now, in the second argument, I'll go with total sales, which is the column G. So range will be G2 to G1001. Now, in the third argument, I need to define the function that I want to use. So basically, I want to have total of sales for all the salesperson. So I will go with sum. And in the third argument, it asked me if my reference, the column reference, include headings or not. So my reference doesn't have any heading. So I'll go with no. And then in the fifth one, it asked me if I need a grand total at the end of the summary table. So I don't need a grand total. And here I'm going to close my function without specifying the other arguments. And I'm going to hit enter. So here I have this table where I have each salesperson's name, and then I have total sales that have been made by that salesperson. And in the second part of this formula, we're going to use a function called sort that can sort the data that we have got from group by function. Now, let me add a few columns here, few blank columns. And for the second part, as I said, I'm going to use the sort function. And in the sort function, instead of using this table, I'm going to use the group summary that I have. So for array, I'm going to specify the entire summary that I have here. And for sort index, I'll use 2 because I want data to sort using total sales, not the salesperson's name, but total sales. And in the third argument, that is the sort order, I'll use descending because I want the highest one first and then the lowest and then the lowest, so on and so forth. And let me close my function. And let me tell you that if you can see here, this M3 and hash, this is a new way of referring to a data. So when you select the first cell in any data set and then you enter hash, it selects the entire data up to the last non-blank cell. So this is something new in dynamic array functions. Now let me hit enter. And here I have a new summary table. Let me change the alignment. So here I have this new summary table where I have the same rows, same number of rows. The only difference is in this table, this new table, the data is sorted using total sales, descending from top to bottom. And in the end, we're going to use this function called take that allows us to only extract top 10 or bottom 10 values from the summary table. So now let me add a few more columns, blank columns. And now I'm going to use this function called take. And when I use this function take, it allows me to extract n number of rows from a data set. So here I have the summary table where I have salespersons, total sales, which is descending. And I want to extract top 10 salespersons from this summary table. So I'll select this entire data. I'll use this M3 and hash. And then in the rows, I will specify 10. And if you want top 20, you can simply use 20. And now, because I want both columns, so I'll use 2, close my function and hit enter. And here I have top 10 salesperson based on their total sales. Let me change the alignment and let me use these headings from here. That's it. So here I have 3 tables. The first one, the second one, and the third one. Now, if you see, the first one actually derives from the main data that I have here, and the second one derives from the first one, and the third one derives from the second one. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine all these 3 formulas into a single formula. So we will have only one single table. So first of all, I'll copy this group by from here, and I'm gonna paste it in the array argument of sort. Let me delete this table. Now I'm gonna copy this entire sort and group by. I'm gonna paste it in the array of take function, and here we go. And now I have this table which is derived from this original data, and this table is basically top 10 salespersons based on total sales. Now let me quickly show you how this formula actually works. In the group by, let me quickly show you how this formula actually works. So first of all, as I said, we have group by that gives us a summary table based on salesperson and the total sales. And after that, we have sort function that sort that summary table into a descending using the sales amount. So we get a summary table which is salesperson wise and sorted in descending order using the total sales. And in the end, we just take, by using the take function, we just take top 10 rows from that particular table, which are the top 10. Now, what if I need bottom 10 salespersons instead of top 10? So for this, what I'll do, I'll make a small tweak, and that's in the sort function. Instead of sorting it in the descending order, I'm gonna use ascending order. So instead of -1, I'm gonna use 1 here and hit enter. So now you can see I have the bottom 10 salesperson based on their total sales. Now I'll show you how to create that dynamic chart that I have showed you at the very beginning of this video. This is the chart that I have showed you at the starting of this video, and I can control this chart with this simple drop down. So let me show you how we can use the same summary table to create this chart. First of all, I need to make this formula dynamic so that I can switch from top 10 to bottom 10 and then bottom 10 to top 10. So for this, in the sort function and in the sort order argument, I'm going to use a if statement. And here in the cell N1, I'm going to add a simple drop down for two values. That's top and bottom. And this will help me to switch from top 10 to bottom 10. So you can see when I say top, I get this list of top 10 salesperson. And then when I go with bottom, it changed the entire table from top 10 to bottom 10. Now the next thing is to insert a table. So we'll go to insert, and from here, I'm going to add this simple bar chart. And let me expand it a little bit. And now I need to have a dynamic chart title as well. So for this, I'm going to use the simple formula value from this drop down, and then this, then that's it. So when I change from this drop down, it says top 10, and then for bottom, it says bottom 10. Now I'll select the chart title, go to my formula bar, enter equals, and select this cell with J1 where I have this dynamic formula, and here I have the dynamic chart title. Now let me do a little bit of formatting. Let me change from the format data series. I need to change the gap width of these bars. Okay, let me go to solid fill, use the light green color. For border, I'm gonna use, and let me little bit. Okay, and now let me add data labels inside and make it a little bold, and my chart is almost ready. And let me change this design from here as well. And let me change the font. Wants to add, and this, my chart is ready. So when I change top to bottom, so I have these. Now there's one more thing that I need to do. I need to change the order of these salesperson. So if you see at the top, when I use top, it shows me the top first, the first one at the bottom, and the 10th one on the top. So this is something I need to change. So what I'll do, I'll again open the format data series option. And for this, again, I'm going to open the format chart options, and from axis options, I'll tick mark categories in reverse order. And now I have the first one at the top and the 10th one, the 10th at the bottom. And now if I select bottom from here, I have the bottom, the last one at the top, and the 10th bottom at the end.